Food for thought. Do not forget your true inner heart just because the world is getting hard. In life, changing who you are, protecting your inner self, and just forgetting the softness of who you truly are is very easy. Because you're beaten down, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're sick of everything. You just don't want to deal with it. But you can't live like that. You can't become hard. You can't allow yourself to fully lose a chunk of yourself just to get by. And it's really hard to not put a wall up to the things that hurt, because then you kind of block everything out. You block out the good and the bad. You block out the bad things that are happening, yes, but then you forget to live. You forget that there's a reason that you are here, and it is not just to get by. In the moment and currently right now, you might be feeling like you just want to shut everything off. You want to shut off your emotions. You want to shut off how you feel. You want to block every single thing that is telling you that this sucks. But you can't. Because then you lose your curiosity. You lose your compassion. You lose your love for other people. You lose that aspect of life. And one of the most beautiful things, but one of the most heart-wrenching parts of life is feeling your emotions and feeling the pain and feeling the suffering and feeling everything in between, because it's like a faucet. You can turn everything off, but you still need water. You still need that bit of zest into your life. Like, yes, it's heavy. Yes, what you are going through is heavy. Yes, this moment is so heavy, and you might just be trying to get by one after the other, and that's fine, and that's normal. And I want you to know that you're not alone. Even though how lonely you feel, even though how alone you feel, you are not. Because we are going through this together. And I do not know what you're 110% going through. Nobody does. But if you relate and you are going through a hard time and you want to shut everything off, don't. Because what makes us different and what makes life beautiful is that you and I can feel things deeper. Like you can feel things deeper than the ocean, but higher than the sky. And those emotions will be both good and bad. But with the good, or with the bad, comes the good. And you have to have hope that maybe tomorrow will be better. Because that's the only way you're going to get through this. This is the only way you're going to get through this, is if you have a little bit of hope. And because that little piece of hope is that thing that keeps you and I soft. That hope that maybe things will change. That it will get better. Is that thing that keeps us going. Because if we are entirely negative in our head, then we're going to have a negative outcome. And you and I do not want that. We do not want negativity. Because negativity is what we already feel. So we don't need more. And you have to stay curious. You really do. You have to want to learn and try to grow. And it's literally like a lotus flower. The water is murky, but they still bloom and they still grow. And you and I have to be just like lotus flowers, because through the thick of it, we're going to have to persevere. I'm giving us neither the option to quit. We are not quitting. We have made it too far. And so we must stay curious of how we can grow. We have to wonder how we will get through this. We will have to take deep breaths, many deep breaths, and try to get through this, because we've gotten through it this far. And that's what I'm trying to tell myself, is that I've gotten through this far. So I cannot quit, and I will not quit. And nor will you. Because even though this time is hard, we are not going to get hard. We are not going to allow our hearts to close off just because what we are dealing with is hard. And we're going to have to fully accept it and fully get through it, because you and I can go through things and shut off. It's so doable, but it's not any easier. We might feel like it's easier in the moment, but when we come out of it and when our feelings thaw, it's just ugly. It is not a fun feeling to shut down, to shut off all your emotions, and then all of a sudden have to thaw them, because they're gonna come out in one way or the other. And we might as well deal with them when we are already feeling bad. Those bad emotions, we have to feel them anyway, so we can fully process them and continue. And being able to keep our hearts open allows the bad to come in, but also the bad to go out. And that is the importance of keeping our hearts open and being curious and how we're going to deal with it. And right now, I feel very nervous, not nervous, but apprehensive. I don't know how to describe it, apprehensive in a sense of, how do I ask this? When asking questions to my boss, because sometimes, or all the time, I feel like he's very annoyed with me. And what I am doing has a lot of steps before it that I have to understand, but he hasn't explained those steps, and rather I am just doing the work that needs to be done, but I don't know why I'm doing it, what I'm making, in a sense of what I'm creating, what am I doing this for type of creating. And I'm very oh my gosh, originally I thought I was maybe first 2-3 weeks he'll tell me. No, this is the 6th week and he has not told me. And I'm gonna have to ask him. And I don't know how to describe it. It's just very different. And I've never met a person like this before, and he's very unique. And it's a life skill to learn how to talk to people, is what I'm learning, and trying to get over my fear of annoying him, because all that matters is that I am trying to be curious and trying to continue to learn and try to figure out how to keep growing in this murky water of I don't know what's going on. And I'm trying to get the courage to ask more questions tomorrow, because I think I've been very standoffish in asking him those type of questions. And it's definitely my time to step forward and move up to the plate and take a swing at it, because I kind of just been telling myself, if I annoy him, at least I get some answers. At least I get something and I can learn. And I want you to know that too. To have the courage to ask a question, no matter how dumb it is, and to be curious, because I don't want you to look back at this experience and think to yourself, oh, I wish I would have asked more questions, because you and I can get through hard things without asking any questions. But when we look back, sometimes we're like, oh, I should have done this. Oh, I could have said this. Oh, I easily could have done whatnot. But it's because we're apprehensive in the moment and we are completely shut off and we are hard and we are not thinking, we are thinking of survival rather than trying to use our time wisely, and not even that, that's not the right way, but just trying to figure it out. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna grow, period. We're gonna grow. I was gonna say we're gonna go. We're gonna grow through this, we're gonna get through this, and we're gonna do it. But the difference is that we have to be able to know how we're growing and know the reasons and the why behind that. And it's so important to, it's so important to try and just be curious. Like, I got this thing, okay, I'm jumping, but the other day I went to the pool just to like swim. There's a beautiful outdoor pool, and I'm like, I'm gonna go splash around, okay? I talked to this guy named Craig, and I asked him what he did, what he does. He's like in his 75, and he tells me he was in like a manager at food places and whatnot. And I asked him, what is one thing you learned? And he said that people are different. So many people are different. And why I bring this up is because my mentor is somebody I've never met before. There's nobody like him that I've ever met, and he is so different. And trying to learn how to communicate with him is going to be what it is. Trying to learn how to communicate with somebody that you've never conversed with is so important, because when you have certain type of people that you can communicate with, perfect, great, amazing. But there are going to be certain people in your life that you're going to need to know how to communicate with and try to push through it. And this is the lesson that I think I'm learning right now, is that even though I'm going to feel like I'm annoying him, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're annoying them, because at the end of the day, you are the only thing that matters. You are the only one that matters, and you must push through this. You got to. And you have to have the courage to do it even when you're scared. You have to have the courage to be curious. And that's just how life rolls. That's just how it is. And it's taken me a second to figure that out. And I'm glad I'm figuring it out during week 6 rather than week 10. And even if you and I are not going through the same thing right now, part of me is like, I'm glad. I'm very glad. But you're going to have to figure it out one way or the other. You're going to be talking to different people. You're going to be experiencing new people with different life skills than you. And sometimes it's not even the point of them seeing eye to eye. It's to the point of meeting them where they are and them meeting where you are. A compromise. I was going to say a compromise, but it's a compromise. Just know you are going to be just fine. You are going to grow, and you're going to figure it out through the murky water. You're going to figure it out through everything. And you and I are like lotus flowers, because there is nothing that they cannot grow in. Food for thought.